Thanks, Wes. And in other news, a former DIVI resort accountant has been arrested for embezzling $74,000 from the company. 62-year-old Millie Calvin from Estate St. John is looking at 19 counts of embezzlement and 2 counts of grand larceny. According to the Virgin Islands Police Department, Miss Calvin stole the money between December of 2006 and 2008, when she was the resort accountant's manager. The general manager told the police that Miss Calvin admitted to him she had stolen the money from the DIVI Casino Beach Resort, but insisted that she was going to return it. An affidavit reported that Calvin returned $91,835 in uncashed checks and $55.30 in cash to the resort. Now, over $74,000 in cash is still missing. Miss Calvin's bail is set at $75,000. And Diageo is setting up for a huge career fair soon. News Channel 8's Wes Small has more.
Thanks a lot, Jerome. This is what it's all about, looking your best and bringing your resume, a cover letter. This is just an example and a sample of what we can expect at the job fair, the career fair at Diageo. I'm here with Dan Kirby, and we need to get right to it, Dan. At UVI, coming up Saturday, January 23rd, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Great Hall. We have a lot of job opportunities for folks out there. And Channel 8 wants to make sure that the locals get the best and the most opportunity to take advantage of this. Diageo project, Dan, is huge. And there's a lot of rumors out there that, just like any other big corporation, you're not going to hire locally. You're just going to bring most of the guys from the States. First of all, what can you say about our career fair that we have coming up?
Well, I mean, the career fair on January is really people's opportunity in the Virgin Islands to really come out and meet Diageo, see who we are, see what we're all about, really understand what all the different roles that we have out there for people, in terms of, leadership roles, down to process operators, down to forklift operators. So there's a lot of different roles. We want people to see what they are, bring their resumes, and get to meet some folks from Diageo.
All right, now there's 4 sessions, first of all. One is from 8 to 10 in the morning. Next is from 10 to 12, 1 to 3, and then 3 to 5. I'm going to ask you, Mr. Kirby, about some of these positions. And, well, where should we start, from the top or the bottom?
Okay.
All right, let's start with some of these.
Sure.
Operations manager and risk manager and things like that.
What is that? I mean, the operations, I'll keep it pretty brief, but that person's going to be really responsible for the distillery operation as well as the wash water treatment facility, overseeing all of the operations, including the operators in the process. Risk manager, that role is really one around the environment, health, safety, all of the things that we need to make sure we do in our plant to keep it a very safe facility.
All right. Now, of course, these things go all the way down to administrative assistant.
Sure.
Now, how long have you been with Diageo?
I've been with Diageo since 1979, so 30 years in the business. And I mean,
where was this in the States?
Actually, I started in Canada. I worked at a facility in Waterloo, and I actually was hired in as a warehouse person. I worked rolling barrels and filling barrels, dumping barrels, and slowly worked my way up through the ranks. So.
And what are you now?
I'm vice president of Diageo USVI right now. So
man, is that a good success story or what?
Well,
were you a gopher like me? I was at Eyewitness News, go for this and go for that.
At the beginning, I mean, that's what I did. I mean, I worked as part of the union, and just continued. Diageo, provided lots of training, and that's something that we do. Whenever you're hired, we want to make sure people have the ability to progress through the business, because we don't want people to be stagnated, and that's always gives people more energy and are much more enthusiastic about the site.
All right, wonderful. And that's got to be good, is it? Look at him now. Success story. What should we bring to not only the Diageo career fair, but any career fair? And folks, when you leave Diageo, don't stop there. Go to the next career fair. Stay with the Department of Labor. How many of you are checking the bulletin boards on a daily basis at the Department of Labor? Folks, right now, finding a job is not easy. I got to tell you something. In the States, for the next decade or so, they've got CEOs, former CEOs on the highway now begging for food. I have to tell you something, that these are very dire times. You should bring a resume, you know, something like this, and make sure that you're perfectly groomed. Come on, if you could do it to go party at night, you could do it for a job and for the career for your life. And, you know, be well groomed and be on time. If you know it starts at 8 o'clock, you know, you should be around at 7:30 or so. You know what I mean? And ask questions. You know, remember the do's and don'ts of looking for a career. Mr. Kirby, I'd like to address this: is the fact that some of these jobs, are they trainable off island, and or do you have to go into training? And will you be offering that for our local people? Some of these high-paying jobs. Let's face it, we've never had a corporation like Diageo here. The one closest we have here is Crucian, and that's a very family and old-fashioned oak barrel type process. Now, this has to be a little more complicated, and it must ensue some training. Is training available for these high positions for local people?
You know, absolutely. I think there's going to be, we're going to partner with the Department of Labor on doing some preliminary training. So, which is great for the folks out there, because whether they get a job or not, they're really going to enhance their skills and their capabilities, which will, you know, obviously make them more attractive for other people to hire them as well. So I think that's a great thing. You know, we are committed to the U.S. Virgin Islands. You know, we're planning on, you know, hiring.
Here to stay?
Absolutely here to stay. We're going to hire minimum of 80% will be local folks. So we're absolutely committed to that.
80%.
80% plus. So I mean that's my goal, and you know, we absolutely will stick to that.
I'd like to give out a number then, if I could. Diageo USVI is an equal opportunity employer, and you could contact them at 713-8520 at extension 105, and you can email them at careerusvi@diageo.com. One more time, email them at careerusvi@diageo.com. Again, this career fair is at UVI St. Croix campus. The first session is from 8, and it goes all the way till 5 o'clock. Dan Kirby and Wes Small for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Wes. And a union update is up next. Stay with us on Channel 8.